Russia, the host nation, were very much hoping to build on their dream start. They were in control of their destiny as victory over Saudi Arabia had changed the mood of the nation. Belief and passion throughout. After one win in 10, nobody would have guessed it would be all optimism from here onwards. It had been the biggest win ever in an opening game since 1934. The atmosphere was electric. Russia simply expected the players were to get a rapturous welcome in the historic city of St. Petersburg. It would certainly be historic were they to win tonight. Two changes to the team today. Dzyuba in for Smolov and Cheryshev, the hero of the first game, also to start. Also, tough defender Ignatiev was making his 124th appearance today. He'd just only recently been persuaded to come back from retirement. As for Egypt and its 1 million residents, 30,000 were around the city. The big news for them was that talisman Mo Salah, the scorer of 47 goals, was to start. It was a gamble, as surely he wasn't fit. Without him, they lacked belief and were totally toothless in the defeat against Uruguay. He'd scored the decisive goal that secured qualification. They were hoping at the sixth time of asking that they eventually were able to win their first game. Egypt hadn't scored in open play in 84 years in free play. They hoped their defence, that had only conceded 23 goals in 36 games, would be secure today. Unfortunately, 19 set pieces had been conceded. The fans were boisterous as the noise was deafening in St. Petersburg. The Russians firmly behind its team. Golovin dragged his shot wide after just only 5 minutes. All Russians. It was all Russia in the open exchanges, as Egypt were very much nervous. A new confidence within the home side. Egypt then enjoyed its best spell going into the 15 minutes of the match, and Trezeguet saw his finely curled effort slightly off its target, narrowly off its target. Egypt looking to utilise the pace of Salah on the break, who up until now was unable to get himself into the game. Cheryshev tried his own luck from range, his effort comfortably off its target. There was a good period of Russian pressure that followed 10 minutes as the game remained goalless. It wasn't Egypt was suddenly finding their feet, and with 30 minutes gone, they were very much in the game. It wasn't Saudi Arabia. Part two, they were playing a team that were organised and disciplined, as well as Dzyuba was handled very well by the Egyptian defenders. Salah, on a half turn, tried to put his nation in front, but unfortunately he was narrowly wide. He found himself very tightly marked by the Russian defenders. It was a fairly even half, that end to end, but lacking real quality. The stadium was brought to its feet when, in the opening moments, Fatih, in attempting to clear the danger, only succeeded in deflecting the ball into his own net, with the ball bouncing off his knees, spinning into the net. Totally deflated. Half of the fans weren't even back in their seats. Now we'd see what Egypt were made of, as Russia were on the brink of qualification, and they'd come under some slight pressure as Egypt were looking to find a way back into the match. But it all came virtually as Cheryshev virtually confirmed Russia's qualification passage and Egypt's elimination by side-footing 8 yards out. They looked totally. Egypt would then totally crumble as Dzyuba buried the visitors, chesting the ball, turning, great turn, touching the ball, and a clinical finish into the corner. Russian fans wanted more, but Trezeguet with a clear sight of goal, side-footed wide. It was the end, but there was some slight consolation when Vaz would come into assistance and give Egypt the opportunity for a consolation. Salah given the opportunity to make the score slightly respectable, expertly dispatching the effort for a 3-1 scoreline. Egypt kept going. Russia looked to counter. Smolov was very much prominent. It was the best start ever from a nation. Italy in 1934 has also scored 8 goals, but they had conceded 2. Russian team was elevated by the occasion, and the fans were loving it. Jubilation everywhere as the fans celebrated. Russia were on their way.